Hello YouTubers, welcome back into the Alternative Energy Carport. I am Eric the Dumb Electrician. Okay guys, as you can see this Axial flux wind turbine builds coming along. This is part 2. I think I'm going to label this series in parts so that you guys can see how the progress is coming along. I'm really excited about this project, as I've said before. Getting these coiled up. So these coils, I'm going to have a 9-coil setup. Okay, this is kind of different than some other videos you've seen on YouTube. Usually 12, 15, 18 is what they're using. But I don't know how much power that I really need. So I'm going a little bit smaller, more turns, but a little bit smaller setup than what other people are going. You know, and I just want to tell you guys, this ain't perfect. This is my first run at things. And I've seen some other YouTubers put stuff on there that wasn't perfect with these things, and they still produce power. So while I'm trying to get everything as close to perfect as I can get, I'm not fretting over it not being perfect, okay? Like you can see, let me grab one of these coils here. This one here's probably the worst out of the bunch. If I bring it up close, maybe I can tilt it in the light a little bit. You can see like right in here, you know, I didn't quite get it tight, really tight. And I don't think that's going to affect the effectiveness of it, but what I think it will affect is how big my coil is, and eventually what you run into when you don't have them good and tight is you use a little more wire, because as this loop gets bigger, you know, your length on your wire gets longer, so you try to keep that as tight as possible, okay? And that's the goal. But I don't think, as far as the effectiveness of the wind turbine, I don't really think that's going to affect anything. Not from what I've seen on here from fellow YouTubers. So, you know, we'll see. I guess eventually when I get it all put up, we'll see. The other thing you want to check for when you're winding these things up is weight. So like mine's running about 376 to 378 on the grams. Let's take this first one here and let's put it on here. Let's see what she weighs here. Okay, so there, that's 376. And that's pretty typical. Let's try this other one here. See what that one weighs. 378. So there you go. So they should be within a couple grams of each other, depending on how tight they're turned. I mean, tightness of the turns could make a little bit of difference because you add the length of the wire, which makes it heavier. So, but as long as they're, you know, 2 to 3 grams off, you should be okay. Here's my get up, as you guys saw the other day in one of the other videos that I posted. And here's I've already got one kind of started here, but here's my counter. So as this thing makes a loop, see this here comes around, clicks on that counter and makes a counter. And I got this little handle going here for it. There's really, this is just a homemade get up, guys. This is not rocket science. It's not something that I fabricated and said, hey, wow, look at this. You know, I'm just a dumb electrician, okay? I am. That's all I am, just a dumb electrician. And see, here's this. My father-in-law welded this up for me, welded the bolts on here. This is actually from an old plastic cutting board that we had. So, I mean, that's just kind of what I use. Just some really parts I had laying around, lumber I had laying around. Now this I went and got these at one of the big box lumber yards. You know, no big deal. You know, and some of these little knick-knack stuff I bought, but probably got maybe 20, 25 bucks in this whole get up, maybe. You know, so it's not, other than the wire, of course. The wire was a little bit more pricier, but you know, and I'll try to, if I get to it, I'll leave you a link to CMS Magnets, where I'm getting the magnets and the wire from. If you're interested in it, I'll try to post a link to that. Okay, so I'm going to just start this one and just kind of show you what's going on. I won't show you the whole thing. That'd take me a little bit of time. It takes me probably 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes at most to get one of these wrapped up. But let me pause it here for a second, and I'll set you up here where you can see it and I can wrap at the same time. So hold on. Okay, I think I got you set up where you won't fall off. So when you first start, you're just going to keep this as close to there. You want to keep this thing as tight as you can. Oh, hold on. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so there's one turn. You'll hear the clicker as it goes by. 2 turns. 3 turns. I keep my finger on it just a little bit to add a little more pressure. It's coming off the reel pretty tight, but we're just going to keep a little more added pressure to it. 5 turns. 6 turns. And you can see these little gaps in here, so you don't want to nick it with this screwdriver, but you can just reach in there and just snug it up a little bit, okay? And I kind of do this before. Now on mine, I got this gap here a little bit wider. It's about 5/8 of an inch. So, you know, you want to keep that really tight as you're coming across there. Like I said, I'm just a dumb electrician, so you don't, figure that, learn some of this stuff on your own. I mean, that's kind of the fun in making this turbine, is just learning this stuff on your own. It's really cool. Hugh Pickett, I was wanting to mention Hugh Pickett. I got his book. He's got a book called The Wind Turbine Recipe, and his stuff's in millimeter, of course, but it's really good, and that's kind of what I'm basing this off of. This and a couple other YouTubers that I've seen build them. But there you guys go. You kind of see the idea and see how we're wrapping this thing. And sometimes you got to kind of look down through here. I'm looking down through here as it's turning, so I can make sure that my gaps and everything are staying the same. Okay? Because when you get around this next row, it wants to flop on you a lot because it's trying to get in the groove of the other one. So you just want to try to keep it as tight as you can as you go along. And trust me, guys, if you don't get this thing tight as you're going along, it'll foul up your coil when you get, when you're getting to about 80 or 90 turns, your coil will be really fouled up if you don't. So just take your time. I like coiling it by hand. I feel like I get a pretty good turn on it, and I can lay that wire down in this groove and just keep going. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time, but man, it's super simple, and I'm all about simple. If I had something that was power operated, I'd foul that up. It'd come out looking like a rat's nest. So just kind of want to keep this thing going, guys. All right, that's all I have for you right now. Got my magnets ordered. They'll be on their way, so hopefully here in the next couple months we'll get this thing going. There's still a lot of more things I got to do to get ready to actually put it all together. Got to get the resin kit ordered and a bunch of other stuff, but you guys kind of get the idea. It's super simple, and I love this. It's there's a little bit of pride that goes in with this stuff, guys, about making stuff on your own. And hey, this is just one of those things I'm really super excited about. Getting my hands on stuff and building stuff. Man, there's just no better feeling. And just follow the recipe that Hugh has, and watch other YouTubers and learn about this stuff before you dive into it. Kind of sit down and figure out what your costs are going to be. But I guarantee you, when I'm done with this thing, she'll be bumping out some power, and I can tell everybody to come over to the house. Look at that. You won't believe this, but I made that. And that's kind of the cool part of it. There's a little bit of pride goes in with that. So just thank you guys for watching. With the current situation we got going on with this coronavirus, I just want to tell everybody, hey, I'm praying for you guys, and just hang in there. We'll get through this. Don't freak out. Be all right. Anyways, just be safe out there, okay? Make sure you're washing your hands and staying clean as you can as possible, and just be safe out there, okay? All right. I will talk to you guys again real soon. This is Eric Jackson. I am the Dumb Electrician. Eric out.